Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news. Well, folks, today we're diving into some pretty shocking developments that are shaking up the NFL landscape, especially for us, Giants fans. You see, just recently, the Giants made a move that surprised everyone, trading Neal to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I know what you're thinking. Neal, a player drafted in 2022 with so much promise, traded away. It might seem like a setback, but honestly, when you look at the bigger picture, this could be a strategic move that benefits both sides and, more importantly, could reshape the NFC East and the entire NFL landscape for the upcoming seasons. Now, for those who might not be fully caught up, Neal was drafted by the Giants in the first round of the 2022 NFL Draft, a pick that came with high expectations. Neal was seen as a cornerstone for the Giants' offensive line, a player with immense talent, versatility, and potential to become one of the league's top linemen. But, as many of us have seen over the past couple of seasons, Neal has struggled to find his footing at the NFL level. His transition from college to the pros hasn't been as smooth as hoped, and despite flashes of brilliance, consistency has been a major issue. Neal has played both tackle and guard, trying to adapt and find his best fit on the line, but the results haven't quite matched the expectations that were set when he was drafted. The Giants, in their quest to improve and stabilize their offensive line, have faced a lot of hurdles. Injuries, inconsistent play, and the inability to develop the young talent as quickly as they would have liked have all contributed to a season that's looking tough early on. The team is currently 0-2 after a tough Week 2 loss to the Dallas Cowboys in overtime, and while there were signs of hope, the reality is that the Giants need to make some bold moves if they want to turn this around. And that's where the trade for Neal comes into focus. Trading Neal to the Buccaneers might seem like a loss on paper, but it's actually a smart move, especially when considering the future. Neal's talent is still there, and sometimes, a change of scenery is exactly what a player needs to unlock his full potential. So, why Tampa Bay? The Buccaneers are currently 2-0 in the season, looking strong and poised to make a deep playoff run if they can keep their momentum. Their quarterback, Baker Mayfield, has been on fire to start the year, throwing for 382 yards and 5 touchdowns with no interceptions in the opening games. That kind of production is impressive, but it's also built on a solid offensive line that can protect him and give him the time he needs to make those big plays. Unfortunately, Tampa Bay has recently suffered a blow with Luke Goedeke and Cody Mauch being placed on injured reserve. That puts extra pressure on the team to bolster their offensive line depth and talent, and Neal could be exactly what they need. Neal's experience playing both tackle and guard makes him a versatile addition for Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers have shown they're interested in building a flexible, adaptable offensive line, and Neal's skill set fits perfectly into that plan. Plus, with his developmental curve, a fresh environment with a more stable offensive system might be the perfect place for Neal to finally reach his potential. Neal's physical tools are still evident, his size, athleticism, and raw power are undeniable, and under the coaching staff of Tampa Bay, with their focus on development and stability, Neal could thrive. Now, let's talk about the implications of this trade for the Giants. First off, it's a clear signal that the team is willing to shake things up, reevaluate their roster, and prioritize rebuilding their offensive line for the future. Neal's departure might be painful for some fans, but it opens up opportunities for other young players to step up, for the team to explore different options in free agency or the draft, and for the coaching staff to focus on developing their current roster. It's a part of the process, and while it's difficult to see a player like Neal leave, sometimes a change of scenery is exactly what's needed for both the player and the team. For Neal, this move could be a game changer. Imagine him in Tampa Bay, with a more stable system, better coaching, and a team that's committed to winning now. Neal's versatility means he can fit into different spots along the line, giving the Buccaneers more flexibility. With his experience, he could quickly become a key piece in their offensive line, helping to protect Baker Mayfield and open running lanes for their backs. It's a win-win scenario. Neal gets a fresh start, Tampa Bay gets a talented lineman, and the NFL fans get to see how this new dynamic plays out. Now, let's zoom out a bit and talk about what this means for the NFC East, especially for us Giants fans. The division has been highly competitive over the past few seasons, with teams like Dallas, Philadelphia, and Washington all fighting for supremacy. The Giants, with their 0-2 start, are facing a critical crossroads. They need to find a way to bounce back, and part of that involves making bold, strategic moves. Trading Neal might just be the first step in a series of roster adjustments that could help the Giants improve their depth, add experience, and build a more resilient team. It's about making tough decisions now to set up a brighter future down the line. Looking ahead, the Giants will need to focus on their offensive line's development, find ways to boost their offensive production, and get their young players more involved. Neal's departure could open a spot for a young lineman to step up, or it could motivate existing players to elevate their game. The coaching staff will have to be creative and strategic, especially with the season still very much in its early stages. The NFL is all about adapting on the fly, and this trade signals that the Giants are willing to do what it takes to stay competitive and build towards a playoff push down the road. Meanwhile, in Tampa Bay, Neal's arrival could be exactly what the offensively minded Buccaneers need to sustain their early season success. With their current injury situation along the line, Neal's ability to play both tackle and guard gives them valuable flexibility. His presence can help solidify their line, giving Baker Mayfield the protection he needs to continue his hot streak. The Buccaneers coaching staff will undoubtedly look to integrate Neal into their system quickly, giving him opportunities to prove that he was underutilized in New York. This trade also sparks a lot of questions about the future direction of both teams. For the Giants, it's about rebuilding and retooling, focusing on long-term success rather than short-term fixes. For Tampa Bay, it's about maintaining their momentum and making sure they have the best possible roster to compete deep into the season. It's fascinating to watch how these moves unfold and how they impact the division and the playoff race. And, of course, it's not just about the immediate future. Neal's story is still being written. The potential for growth and redemption in Tampa Bay is there, and fans will be watching closely to see if he can finally tap into his talent and show everyone why he was a first-round pick. For the Giants, this is a lesson in patience, development, and making tough decisions that are ultimately aimed at building a stronger, more competitive team. So, to all of you watching, I want you to think about how this impacts your view of the Giants season. Are you optimistic about the future, or do you feel this trade signals a rebuild? Either way, it's clear that the NFL landscape is shifting, and the NFC East is more competitive than ever. The Giants are in a crucial phase, and moves like this show they're willing to adapt and do what it takes to get back to their winning ways. Remember, every move, every trade, every decision is part of a larger plan to bring that Lombardi Trophy back to New York. Pause here, just for a second. If you want, the YouTube algorithm, to keep recommending, the latest New York Giants news to you, it's super important, that you leave, a like on, this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes, a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with, the big reveal. Now, wrapping up this whirlwind of news, it's important to remember that the NFL is a league of constant change, and the Giants are no strangers to making bold moves when necessary. This trade of Evan Neal to Tampa Bay may be just the beginning of a series of roster adjustments aimed at building a more resilient, competitive team for the future. Whether Neal finds success in Tampa Bay or not, this move underscores the relentless nature of NFL front offices to adapt, improve, and chase that elusive Super Bowl title. For us, Giants fans, what matters most is the future. We've seen enough ups and downs, enough rebuilds and reboots to know that patience and faith are key. Neal's departure might be difficult to swallow now, but it's part of a bigger picture, one where the team is aiming to become stronger, smarter, and more prepared for the battles ahead. Keep your eyes on the development of our young players, stay supportive of the coaching staff's decisions, and trust that the front office is working tirelessly behind the scenes to put us in the best position to succeed. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this trade? Are you excited to see Neal in a new uniform, or do you feel this is a missed opportunity? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of the Giants. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and insights into everything happening around the Giants and the NFL. So, stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep supporting our team through thick and thin because the best is yet to come.